Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo! Hump day, yeah!
All right, everyone, welcome to another Bill's Retro Gaming Show. It is Wednesday. It is hump day. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. It's been a little bit of a crazy one here in my house. Talked about this a little bit in the past, but I did have an issue a few weeks back where we had a pipe leak in the house, caused a little bit of some water damage, floors, walls, stuff like that. We've now got guys coming in, doing the repairs, doing the construction. My bedroom is everywhere because they're in there doing the walls, doing the floors and stuff on there. So all my furniture, everything is out of the bedroom. It's in every other room in the house. I'm actually sleeping on an air mattress in my game room right now because I have no other place to sleep right now. I do have a second, like a guest bedroom in the upstairs part of the house, but that is full of crap from all the rooms downstairs. There's no place to be up there and sleep and everything. So my house is in complete disarray right now. Yes, the arcade was spared, Calvin. It was nowhere near any of that kind of stuff. Really nothing nothing I owned, got day. Like I said, it was mostly had to rip up some rugs, have to redo rugs, had to tear up some walls to, dry it out, make sure there was no molding. But nothing, no like personal effects, nothing like that got messed up in it, which is a good thing. So it is what it is. We're dealing with it. If you don't see a lot of videos from me right now, it's probably because these guys are getting here at like 8 o'clock in the morning and they're staying till like 4 or 5. And it's going to be very hard to make some videos during the day with saws going and hammering and all that kind of stuff in the background noise. So my time's going to be a little limited with that kind of stuff. So just know that if you don't see a lot of produced videos from me over the next few weeks, I'll still try to, if something really piques my interest, I'll try to do some stuff after hours and whatever. But that's part of the reason why, is because it's just so much noise in this house throughout the day. I'm surprised I get any actual work done in the house, to be quite honest with you, because it's so freaking noisy in here. But that's my life right now. I hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you for coming on, spending a little time with me today. Before I get into everything, I want to say hi to people in the chat. But first and foremost, I really want to say a big shout out and a thank you to all the veterans here in the United States, whether you are currently serving, whether you have served, especially those who have given their life in the service of this country. Yesterday was Veterans Day. I usually like to post something on social media. Again, with everything craziness going on, it completely kind of slipped my mind. But I did want to make sure that I mention stuff tonight. I know we've got people in the chat who have served. I know 19K Fox is here. Man, I thank you so much for your service. I thank everybody so much who has served or who continues to serve. So happy Veterans Day to those of you. Oh, and look at this right out of the gate. We got Stock Jock gifting 10 memberships to Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Thank you so much for doing that, Stock Jock. Definitely appreciate it. Didn't have to do that, but I definitely, like I said, I appreciate it. Welcome to all the new Billbarians, members of Bill's Retro Gaming Show. That's awesome. Appreciate you doing that, brother. Let's take a minute. Let me see if I can kind of sneak back up here and say hi to some people in the chat. Hopefully I don't miss anybody who came in a little early who's not on my my little board here, but I see the B Me is here talking about pickles, which is kind of a little inside joke with the guys from Arcades Anonymous, who have their show after this. There will be a redirect to their show, so make sure you check them out for sure. Mike Hawkhurst is here, and he's early. Thank you for being here, brother. Definitely appreciate it. I mentioned him before, but of course, 19K Fox is here. Again, always glad to have you around, brother. Thank you so much for being here. Mad Astra is here as well. Calvin Wong. We got Biggie D in the house. We got Brooklyn Menace here. Israel Gaming is here. Wishing everybody just kind of a happy day. Hope everybody's doing well there. We got J-Rod in the house. Mold is no joke. Yeah, tell me about it. So that was one thing that I was really glad we were able to get somebody in here like right away and clean everything up and make sure that we weren't going to have any problems with that. We got JJ here. We had a hot water heater burst and it flooded our living room. Water went under the... Yeah. It was kind of like that. It wasn't like... it was really kind of like that because I have rugs through a lot of the house. So a lot of it got like just soaked into the rug and then kind of in and under the walls because a lot of the walls were also paneling, kind of like what I have behind me here, which is now getting completely ripped out and it's going to be all sheetrock and it's going to be painted. It's going to look nice. Thank goodness for insurance. I will just say this: the majority of it got covered by insurance. We ran into a little bit of an issue with the bedroom that they're doing right now. There was a problem with the flooring that they have to do a lot more work than they originally thought, which is going to bump up the price. So that's going to cost me a little bit more than I thought it was going to, but we'll still manage. We'll still figure it out and things like that. But enough about that. I don't want to talk too much about that. Let's just keep going. Let's have a great show tonight. John is here. God bless all our boys who gave all. Absolutely. Jason Lillian, of course, always here, moderating, always appreciate it. Steve Sale is here, my good walkabout golf buddy and friend, also known as The Ringer, because he likes to pretend that he's no good at the game, and then he'll come in and just smack you around. So don't let him fool you. If you ever play walkabout golf with him, don't let him fool you. The Real Zim here, another good buddy from Walkabout Golf, of course, as well. Matt Astra, did you get any snow, Bill? It snowed here all day yesterday. Yes, it did. I was sharing some pictures with some friends on Discord and some places, and a lot of the guys in here from different places throughout the U.S., Midwest, and whatever, and people were showing me pictures. They got way more snow than we did. But for those of us here in New York, lately, at least the last few years, we're not used to getting any kind of snow this early in the season, and it wasn't supposed to do it. It wasn't on the weather or anything like that. So it was really kind of weird to look outside and just see snow. I mean, it came, it went, it didn't stick or whatever. It's all gone now, but it was just really weird, and it makes me very nervous for this winter season if we're getting snow this early in the season for sure. Fat Hog is here. You keeping your HD, Bill? Yes, for now, I am keeping my HD. I'll talk a little bit about that tonight when we talk about what's going on with AtGames, for sure. All right, so let's get into things. See, Jason is shouting out, James hates everything. I see you in some of the chat here, but again, YouTube is being really weird, or maybe it's the app I use for bringing up the chat, because you're not showing up on my chat here, buddy. So I don't know what's going on, James. I see you. I said I see you on the side over here, but you're not on my little dock where I can bring things up, which is really weird. But good to see you, James. Glad that you could join us tonight. All right, let's get into some stuff tonight. Let me move this out of the way. Let me bring some things up. Let me start with this, because I always feel like I have to fulfill my contractual obligations to my good buddy Glenn. And that kind of goes back to kind of a running joke when we did Game Time with Glenn and Steve, the Tech Buzz, and them, and Moat and them. We would always talk about our contractual obligations to Glenn and his stuff. But for those of you who didn't know, GRS and T-Sticks are having their Black Friday sale. It's already started. You can get 20% off everything on their site if you just use code BF20. They've also still got the Akari rotary stick at 40% off with the code Akari 40. That's been something that's been going on for a long time. It's still available. If you're still waiting to get one, you haven't picked one up yet, you can still get that at 40% off. But everything else on the site right now, 20% off, BF20 for his Black Friday sale. So if you were looking to pick up one of Glenn's spinners or his flight stick or the flight yoke or any of those kind of things, now is definitely a good time to do it. But moving on from that, I want to get into another thing that you guys may or may not have seen. I saw this through, I think it was Retro Dodo who put this out, and it's from Lego. Now, some of you may have seen the thing that Lego is going to do another Zelda set, and it's actually going to be based on the final battle from Ocarina of Time. But that's not the one I want to talk about today. The one I want to talk about today is this. And again, and this is from a hat tip to Retro Dodo. This is a Lego arcade set. Now, this is not a done deal. This is not a set that is for sure coming out. There's no price on it or anything like that. This is been submitted to Lego Ideas. Now, Lego Ideas is where people can, submit their ideas for a Lego set. It has to be kind of voted on by people. If it gets 10,000 people to support it, then it goes to a panel of judges who will vote on whether or not it actually becomes a real set. So you can actually go over to the Lego Ideas site now. You can sign up on the site so that you can vote. Let me just refresh. I want to reload this really quick. It was under 1,000 a little earlier today. It's now well over 1,000. It's got to hit that 10,000 mark. It's got plenty of time to do it. I got 604 days to hit 5K and then move on to the 10K from there. So there's plenty of time. Don't get me wrong. I support your ears and have lots of Glenn's products, but to say stuff is 40% off or whatever is all right. I guess I'm a little confused by that, JJ. I don't know why it's gaslighting. And first, maybe I'm missing something. And I'm certainly not purposefully trying to gaslight people or anything. The Akari stick he does is the only thing that's 40% off. Everything else is 20% off with a code. I'm just throwing it out there that there's a sale going on the site where you can get 20% off on most of the things. I don't know if it's everything, but most of the stuff that he sells. I don't know how that's considered gaslighting. Maybe explain it to me. But like I said, I just wanted to throw it out there to people if anybody's interested in picking up any of their stuff. I'm not trying to do anything, like that. Getting back to this Lego set, though, real quick, I think this thing looks really cool. I'm hoping that this makes it and that this comes out because I think I want to bring up some of the pictures on here. So it's an arcade. You've got the arcade, the building itself. You can even see like on the side here, it's got a little motorcycle ride on for the kids to ride on. You got a vending machine on the outside. One of the things that's cool about this is the top of it is actually open. Oh, okay. Yes, the first part of that comment, you aren't gaslighting Glenn. Those prices are always on sale. Okay, well, yeah, okay. All right. Fair enough. He does do a lot of sales, but like I said, I just wanted to point it out to people. Again, moving on with the Lego thing. The point of this set is that the top of it is open so you can look inside the arcade and see the different things. Like it's got a concession stand here with a popcorn machine. You can see rows of arcade machines. You've got an air hockey. Here you've got like an air hockey table. You've got a skee ball. You got the punching bag machine. You've got a DDR machine in the corner. There's also going to be like a Guitar Hero style one and a racing one and all that kind of stuff. Here's a top down view of it. You can see there's like a shooter one here. You got your row of arcade games, a driving cab in the back here. It's even got a bathroom, which I think is pretty cool. So this is a neat little set. I think this is, and here's just a look at a lot of the different, things that you can make that go into the arcade. I just think this is really cool. I hope this is a set that actually comes out. Because I think this would be a fun people, especially if, whether you're a Lego fan or not, if you've got, a game room in your house, a little mini arcade in your house, getting something like this, putting it together, putting it as decor in your game room, I think would be kind of cool. Now, Legos tend to be on the expensive side for a lot of these sets, so hopefully this one won't be too crazy when it comes out, but this is one I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for. And like I said, if you go over to the Lego Ideas site, you just got to sign up, get a username and password on the site. You can throw your support to it, and if it hits the 10,000, then we'll see if this is something that actually comes out or not. So, just putting that out there. Let me see what I'm missing in the chat here. Hopefully we're not... Hopefully you guys aren't yelling at me too much about the Glenn thing. I saw this. Five Below has 4 new arcade classic Block Tech products, including knockoffs of DDR. I bought the claw machine one. It was like $4. So, what the hell? But yeah, I saw the DDR one, the claw machine. I saw all four of these. I only picked up the one so far. But yeah, they're pretty cool. So I may do a little short of me putting it together, and then it can probably go with the skee ball one I have up here. I think that'll work pretty well with that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Saying Spirits is here. Stock Chuck, appreciate the membership. I'm a Billbarian again. Jason says, I'd buy this set if they make it. And, of course, he's throwing a link in the chat for you guys. So be sure to check that out. I think that thing looks pretty cool. All right. Moving on. And I just want to touch on this real quick. And I think this is one I got to be a little bit careful with, because YouTube has been really weird lately about knocking people for showing trailers and stuff. Yeah, I think I usually keep the sound down on these, and I have to say it does look pretty cool. You can see there from the intro a little bit, they have Bowser in his castle. It turns out it's more of a dollhouse castle because he's still shrunk down from the end of the first movie. Spoilers, sorry. But this does look really cool. They are bringing on some other characters. They're bringing on Bowser Jr. into this, who I guess is going to be one of, if not the main baddie of the movie. They're bringing on Rosalina from the Galaxy games. She's going to be voiced by Brie Larson, and Bowser Jr. is going to be voiced by, let me say this right, Benny Safdie, who I have to admit, I don't know that particular actor. Apparently he's been in quite a few things. He's been, I think he was in Happy Gilmore 2. He was in Uncut Gems, a few other things. So I really don't know a lot about him, but the voice works, I think, for Bowser Jr. So I'm looking forward to this. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'll just show just a little bit more of it, see if I can get away. I'm pretty excited for this one. I really enjoyed the first movie. I thought the first movie was a lot of fun. So this one looks like it's going to be pretty cool as well. I'm glad that they brought back a lot of the same voice cast for it and everything. I believe it is set as of right now to come out in April of 2026. So definitely something to look forward to if you were a fan of the first movie. So if you haven't seen the trailer, check it out. I will have a link to it in the description after the show, so you can go ahead and check it out for yourself. Gee, I wonder if there'll be Happy Meal toys. Of course there'll be Happy Meal toys. Why wouldn't there be Happy Meal toys? There has to be Happy Meal toys. I'd love to see it in 3D. Yeah. One of the things, though, I'm I really want to see with this because they teased it at the end of the last movie again. If you remember, like one of the final little scenes, it was either like right before the credits or at the very end after the credits. I can't remember. They teased Yoshi, and we still haven't seen anything of Yoshi. Now it's still early. Apparently, they're just about finished with the animation on this, so then this will go into the editing and whatever, getting it ready for April. Still a lot of time to go, but when you're talking about an animated movie, especially something like this, it just takes a really long time to put everything together on them. So I'm hoping that they bring Yoshi into it. I think that would be really cool for sure. James, I apologize again. For some reason, I cannot get your chat to come up, but I see you here. Nothing will ever beat the first Mario movie live action peak cinema. Oh, yeah. I'm not going there. God, that movie was so awful. It was so awful, dude. I know you're kidding, but it was awful. All right. Let's move on to the next thing, because I really want to spend a little bit of time on this one and really kind of get into this, because this just got announced today, and I think people are really going to be interested in this. And this was a post put out on X earlier today announcing new Steam hardware coming in 2026: Steam controller, Steam machine, and Steam frame. And then that led to this page here where they've got an announcement video that I am not going to play. You can check that one out for yourself. But it kind of goes over these three products that they are launching. Supposed to come out early 2026. Now, I have no idea what early 2026 means. Maybe we'll see some more of this at CES, although it does seem like I've seen some videos out there from some YouTubers. Linus Tech Talk did one, a few others, talking about, like, say, the Steam Frame, which is their VR headset. So definitely some people have had some hands-on and been able to see these, at least in a controlled environment. I don't think these are going out to people, to actually review and whatever. But people have definitely had their chance to look at these and see them. So let's start with the Steam controller, which looks interesting. It seems like what they're trying to do with this is make something that is similar to the Steam Deck in a controller form. It's got a lot of the same controls and things on it that are in the Steam Deck, but in a controller that you can use with your PC or with the new Steam machine and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of fit into the whole ecosystem of what they're working on right now. So it says you can play your whole Steam library with this. Defining features of the Steam controller: plug and play with the Steam controller puck. One puck, two jobs. It's a wireless transmitter that provides a fast, stable connection for your Steam controller. It's also a charging station connecting to your controller magnetically with a satisfying click. Prefer using Bluetooth or USB. Steam controller supports those too. So you can do this over Bluetooth. If you have a PC or whatever that doesn't have Bluetooth, you can plug this in and it'll work kind of like a dongle, so that it'll connect to it. And then, of course, you can just plug it in and let it charge, which I think is actually kind of a cool feature that they're doing that. I'm not so keen really on the shape and the ergonomics of this. I mean, I guess I'd have to get one in my hands and see what it's like. Obviously, like a lot of controllers out there, they are trying to somewhat replicate a little bit of the feel of, like, say, an Xbox controller. Although, again, usually with an Xbox controller or a lot of these, you have the thumbsticks at kind of an angle with the D-pad down below, whereas here you've got the thumbsticks along the same plane, basically, with the D-pad up in the corner and all. You got these pads here, which I believe are kind of like touch pads, tactile pads on them. So it's going to be a little bit weird with how this is going going to work and feel. You know, the next generation magnetic thumbsticks, high definition rumble, grip enabled gyro on it. So obviously designed to use with your Steam Deck or this new Steam machine and all that kind of stuff that they have going on. It's got the trackpads in it, motion controls. You got a Steam button to get you right to your Steam library and quick access menu. Looks like everything is customizable on this, which is kind of cool as well. You know, you see all the different, like I said, all the different things that it's designed to work with. So that's pretty cool. They're coming out with this Steam controller. That's probably, the least interesting of the things they announced. I think next up would be the Steam machine, which is pretty cool. This is basically a mini PC, a mini gaming PC. Designed with Steam OS, but again, is also supposed to be just a PC. So you can load, other stuff on it as well. What are we saying here? Apparently it'll be a low-powered PS5, so price... Did you mean like Pi 5? So price will be key. Be like a low-powered PS5. Oh, I see what you're saying. Radeon graphics, I believe, not a separate GPU. That's definitely a possibility on this. CPU and GPU 4K gaming at 60 FPS with FSR, thanks to a discrete semi-custom AMD desktop class CPU and GPU. So, Matt Astor, you could be 100% right about that. That does kind of track. Going to be available in 2 storage sizes, 512 and 2 terabyte. Both come with expandable storage via micro SD, which is interesting. I'm surprised that it doesn't have the ability to add, like, say, an SSD in it. That they're just going to 512, 2 terabyte, and then micro SD. So, if you're using it mostly as a gaming PC, I guess that would be all right. Definitely 2 terabytes would probably be, the way to go. You've got Wi-Fi 6E in this, Bluetooth 5.3. No giant brick Steam machine power supply is built right in. LED strip, woohoo! Although that is kind of cool for it to kind of show you, like, when it's downloading stuff, it's supposed to work kind of like the download bar and things like that, and you can customize it and stuff. So I guess that's pretty cool. Apparently, you can load other programs on this. It's optimized for gaming, but it's still your PC. Install your own apps or even another operating system. Who are we to tell you how to use your computer? So that's going to be interesting because it's Steam OS, and somebody certainly correct me in the chat if I'm wrong about this, but I believe Steam OS is Linux based primarily. So you'll have kind of like a version of Linux on this already. You load another version of Linux, probably load Windows on it. There's probably some mechanism, something built in where you can kind of switch back and forth as you like on it. Steam kind of taking the opposite direction from Xbox now, started as a service, now moving into hardware. Very true. Very true. Why haven't they done that before? Let's see. SD memory is slow, though, compared to SSD. Agreed, which is why I don't understand why they don't just allow you to put, like, maybe a second SSD in it. I mean, look, PS5 allows you to do that. It's not that hard. They don't take up a lot of room. It's about the power of a 4070 RTX. Similar to what Xbox is going to launch next generation, but much lower powered. So, I mean, it could be interesting. It definitely could be an interesting little machine. Whether you want to use it as, your everyday gaming PC, it does look like it's a small enough form factor that maybe it would fit in an arcade machine or maybe like a Nova Blast for you to run, your Steam games on an arcade. I guess I'd be a little concerned about temperature and fan, being that it's, you know, in a box like this. But most of the time, if you put a PC in one of those things, you're not leaving it wide open. So hopefully it's got a decent cooling system, and the fans are good enough for it that if you were to put this in, like I said, something like maybe a Nova Blast to run your Steam games or whatever, that something like that would work. Again, it's going to depend on the price. We don't know the price on any of these things right now. We're going to have to wait and see a little bit more of the, like, kind of the schematics on this. Along the front, you've got 2 USB 3As. You've got your micro SD slot, little indicator LED, which I don't know why you have that when you've got the LED bar here, but whatever. You got your power button. You got DisplayPort and HDMI out. You got your power adapter. You've got Ethernet on here. You've got a regular USB. You've got a USB-C, and then 2 USB 2s on the back. So you got a pretty decent amount of ports on this. All right, here's a little bit more on the specs. So I should have realized that they have this. So it's a semi-custom AMD Zen 4 6C 12T, up to 4.8 gigahertz. Wow, up to 4.8 gigahertz, 30 watts. And the GPU, so it does look like it is a separate CPU and GPU. So you've got the AMD Zen 4 for the CPU. You've got an AMD RDNA 3 28CU for the GPU, which I do not. I'm assuming this is, you know, in the Radeon line. Obviously, I don't know a lot about this particular one, or if this is something that's completely custom. It says semi-custom, but if this is something that's custom for them. 2.45 gigahertz max sustained clock, 110 watts. Not bad, not bad. You got okay, 16 gig DDR5, not bad. 8 gig DDR6 VRAM. I prefer a little bit more VRAM, but 8 gigs isn't too bad. You get your internal power supply, and then of course you've got your 2 options, 512 or 2 terabyte SSD in it. Again, be nice if they let you put a second SSD in it. I can't imagine that takes up a lot of room. I guess it would depend on the motherboard that they're using for it, if there's room to put a second SSD slot on it. You got your Wi-Fi 6, your Bluetooth, integrated 2.4 gigahertz Steam controller wireless adapter. So if you're using the Steam controller, you don't have to plug it into this. It'll just connect to it. Got your DisplayPort. You got your HDMI 2.0. Your USBs, gigabit Ethernet, of course, the LED strips, a little bit of the size and the weight. Comes with Steam OS and KDE Plasma. So that's, yeah, that kind of leads me again to the Linux thing, that the desktop is KDE Plasma. But that is a look at the Steam machine. I'll get to the VR headset in just a minute. Let me see what's going on here. James says you can load Android APKs on it. It supports FEX, so you can run x86 games direct on Linux. Okay, so that's pretty cool too. That's definitely pretty cool. Everything is soldered and you won't be able to swap internal parts. Probably very true. Loading Windows on a machine made for SteamOS or any other operating system isn't the greatest. I haven't tried it, so I don't know what that's like. Again, I would think Linux would probably be the way to go anyway, especially if it has the ability to just run x86 games on DOS games on it and stuff anyway. Most of the upper inside is all heatsink grills. This has some nice flexibility for retro use. I'm picking this up. If they just made it upgradable, it would have been great. Yeah, but again, I like people are saying, I think they're trying to compete more, even though it's a PC. I do think they are trying to compete more with the console market. I do think they're trying to compete more with Xbox and PlayStation. Maybe not so much Nintendo with the Switch, although they kind of, sort of went after the Switch with the Steam Deck anyway. But I do think that they are trying to compete more with Xbox and PlayStation with this machine. I think they honestly think people are more likely going to plug this in, put this in their living room, plug this into their TV in the living room and play their games there, as opposed to, sitting on a desk with a computer monitor and doing that kind of stuff. I can't imagine this being like, I wouldn't buy this to use as my day-to-day computer. This is a gaming machine, and that's what it would be for. Now again, it would definitely be nice if you could, oh my God, sorry, I apologize. I'm getting a lot of Discord bops right now. Luckily, I have the sound turned off on the desktop, so you guys can't hear it, but it's popping up on me like crazy right now. I should just shut that down when I'm doing the show. But I definitely think more people are probably going to use this as, as a gaming machine, play their Steam games. Again, it'd be nice if you could play things from other things like, Epic and GOG and all of those kind of things, which is why I think, so many people like some of the other handhelds that don't have the Steam OS on it, that are Windows based, because you can play your Steam games, but then you can play a lot of other stuff as well, or run your emulators and different things like that. I'm going to get one to connect to my downstairs gaming setup. So yeah, Brooklyn, exactly. So I think that's what a lot of people are going to do with this. They're going to treat this like a gaming PC. They're going to treat this like another console. Again, everything's going to depend on price. If this is twice as much as an Xbox or a PlayStation, there's no point. Nobody's going to buy it. This has got to be around the same price. And if they can come in cheaper than Xbox or PlayStation, so much the better. But we'll have to wait and see. And of course, the last big thing on this is, of course, the Steam Frame, which is now the next iteration of Valve's VR headsets. And this one, I have to say, looks really cool. They've gone completely wireless. They've gone the Meta round with this. But it's designed, again, everything is designed within this ecosystem that they're trying to create. So this is designed to work with the Steam machine or your own PC or things like that. Hey, G.I. Joel, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. So, this is designed to work with this new Steam machine or your PC or anything, like that. The cool thing about this as well is it's also a standalone headset, so you can load your stuff directly on it. And I know they were talking about being able to load like Android APKs and different things on this as well. So this thing does look really interesting for sure. Another cool thing that they've done here is it comes with this wireless adapter, this 6 gigahertz wireless adapter. So if you want to have like a direct connection to your PC, you don't want to go, over your home Wi-Fi or whatever, plugging this into your PC, it'll connect directly to it. It should make the connection more stable, should cut down on latency and a lot of that stuff for this. So I do think that's pretty cool. Another thing they talked about was this, I'm going to say it wrong, foveated streaming. So basically what this is supposed to do is, and one of the cool things about this is in the lenses, and they are pancake lenses, by the way. So similar to like the higher end Meta, it's got the pancake lenses in it, but on the little inside corners of each of the lenses is a little camera for eye tracking. So like if you're in a game and you're playing, your avatar moves their eyes or whatever, theoretically this thing could track your eyes and make them move on your character in the game. But even cooler than that is this foveated streaming thing, which will track your eye movement, and the whole purpose of it is for it to render in sharper detail the area where your eye is looking. So, if I'm looking here, this area here is going to be rendered sharper, and the area around it might be slightly, a little blurrier or whatever. But that's not going to matter because it's going to be focused on where your eye is looking. Now, again, it's a lot for streaming. So when you're streaming games to it and whatever, to cut down on bit rate and things like that, and really focus on just the area your eye is looking for, it should improve the way that images look, theoretically. Again, I watched a couple of videos of people talking about this, and they said it really does look and work pretty cool. Brooklyn says that PSVR 2 uses that technology as well. So I think that's a neat feature. And yeah, so it's got the pancake lenses on it, seamless audio experience. It's got camera tracking, so you don't need external cameras for this, which, let's face it, nobody does that anymore, thank goodness. Comes with the controllers, which, again, very similar to controllers we've seen from a lot of VR headsets. One of the things they're trying to do with this is they're trying to make it so that, like, if you're playing your Steam, even your non-VR Steam games in this, like, on a huge screen, you could just use these controllers to play your games without needing another controller. But again, they're selling a Steam controller, which is designed to work with this as well, so you'll be able to use the Steam controller with the Steam frame as well to play your games. So that helps games that are graphically intensive run amazing. So one of the only things that I'm a little disappointed with this is that it doesn't really focus too much on pass-through and AR or mixed reality with this headset. It's one of the things I love about my MetaQuest is the whole mixed reality thing with it, because the cameras on this, I believe, are black and white cameras, so you can still get a little bit of pass-through, but it's not going to be the mixed reality that you see on things like the MetaQuest. Now, apparently, one of the things this does have is some kind of like a mini port. Oh, that was another thing. Well, a smart thing that they did with this is that, which I wish Meta would do, and I hope they do it maybe in a future iteration of their glasses, is this has an SD card slot. So let me see if there's specs on this. So we'll get down to the specs here. This does look like it's going to come in two models, a 256 gig and a 1 terabyte. But beyond that, they are going to have a micro SD card slot on this, so you can expand the memory on this, which I think is really cool. Hey, MG. MG is here. You're not on the naughty list, brother. It's all right. This would make me suck less at golf. I don't know about that. But anyway, so having a micro SD on this, I think, is smart to expand the storage on it for sure. Another thing that apparently they've done is it's also got some kind of an expansion port on it for additional add-ons. And one of the things I read was the possibility of a camera specifically for AR and mixed reality to be plugged into this thing as opposed to the cameras that are built in. So maybe that's something that they will explore down the road on this, which I think would be pretty cool. So this comes with a decent processor. You're getting a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which is pretty cool. 16 gig of DDR RAM. You get your rechargeable battery in this, 21.6 watt lithium-ion battery. One USB-C port in the rear for charging. You can charge with USB-C 45 watts, so it should be pretty fast charging, which is pretty cool. Head strap includes integrated dual audio drivers and a rechargeable battery on rear. Core module can be separated from the head strap for other head strap solutions. Again, it's good. getting into like the display on this, 2160 by 2160 LCD per eye. Again, they are the pancake lenses on this. 72. Now it's really this is a little misleading. It's 72 to 120 hertz refresh rate, 144 hertz experimental. So still 120 hertz is good. We'll have to see what games or what things take advantage of the 144 hertz and does it is there a trade-off on it on this? Sounds like you're in. I'm keeping an eye on it. That's all I will say at this point. Bill definitely needs help with. Yes, I do. That is for sure. I definitely need help with golf. Again, you can see a lot of the other specs here. Your IPD range, 60 millimeters to 70 millimeters. It's got a dial on it, so you can kind of dial that in, which is always good. Eyeglass max with 140 millimeters. It's got one of the little inserts, so if you're like me and you wear glasses, they're also talking about doing prescription lenses for it and things. You've got your inside-out camera-based tracking. 4 outward-facing monochrome cameras for controller and headset tracking. And then you've got your eye tracking as well. Monochrome pass-through on this, so be nice, again, if they come out with an add-on camera for it that allows for better pass-through and more mixed reality on it. But it looks interesting. Has SteamOS 3 built into it, so again, you don't have to have this tethered to a PC specifically. You can load games directly on it, which is why, again, you're going to want to make sure you get the right one, whether it's 256 gig or 1 terabyte. Little look at the schematics of the controller here as well. Less than 120 and I puke. Yeah, it does make a difference, that's for sure. Hey, Moat, always good to see you, brother. Happy hump day to you too, man. So, again, kind of standard. We've seen a lot of this, these type of controllers before, but they're really trying to, make sure that you've got everything you need on this. So if you want to play your Steam games just on a giant TV, you can do that as well. You can see all the stuff on the controller here as well. But there you go. So that's a look at all the new products Steam announced just today. Supposed to come out in early 2026. It's going to be interesting to see when these come out, what the price is going to be. I'm assuming that maybe we'll hear more around CES, if not at CES. I don't know. I don't know if Valve usually goes to CES or if they tend to kind of do their own thing anyway. But I'm assuming we'll probably still hear something around then anyway. So something to keep an eye out for. All right, last topic of the night. Want to jump on to this one, try to get you guys out of here in the next 10 or 15 minutes so you can head on over, check out Arcades Anonymous for sure tonight. But I want to talk a little bit about AtGames before I get into the announcement that they just made yesterday, I think it was. Just want to bring this up real quick for those of you who weren't aware. They are having a pre-holiday early access sale. Started on the 10th. It goes through the 16th. A lot of their games are on sale. I don't think any of the Zen tables, unfortunately, are on sale, which always sucks. I wish they could work something out to put some of the Zen tables on sale for you 4K people. But I have to say, these are some really good deals. I actually want to pick it. I was missing 2 of the Zachariah packs to complete like the whole collection, so I'd have every game on my HD. I needed 9 and 10, I think it was, and dude, they were $9. I mean, these things at current price now, these are going for $30 on the HD. At $9, yeah, I picked up the last 2. I figured, what the hell? Why not, right? If you're an HD owner, you can buy directly from the website. You'll get your code, put it on your machine. If you're a 4K owner, you can buy directly on the machine. The sale is on there. I think when the sale first started, there was some stuff that went on. Sale prices weren't showing up, then they were, then they weren't, or something like that. I think they've got all that fixed right now, so you should be able to go on your machine and check this out and pick up anything that you're interested. By the way, if you want a pretty good idea, if you're curious about some of the tables that you might want to pick up, especially some of the more recent single pack games, I would highly recommend you check out Retrotech X, RTX Pinball. He did a great video not too long ago on like his top, I think it was top 10, like top 10 tables to pick up during the sale and all. Really great video. Go ahead and check it out if you want. If you want an opinion from somebody who's very into virtual pinball and all that kind of stuff, it was a real good video to watch to maybe get some ideas on some of these that you might want to pick up that maybe you missed. So go ahead and absolutely check him out. But what I really want to talk about is this. And this is a new announcement that AtGames just made yesterday. This is them AtGames and AVS companies expand partnership, launch Premium Legends pinball line. So what they are doing, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. So they've just announced that they're going to launch a brand new line, and these are all the 4K pinball machines. This new Premium Deluxe line. They're going to have 2 skins to start. They're going to have Space Invaders, and which I actually think looks really cool. I'm not going to lie. I think that's actually a really cool looking skin for the Space Invaders. And the Dinosaur Dynasty, which is one that they had before in the regular 4K line. There's also talk about them releasing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4KP Premium Deluxe cabinet. Now, I'm going to get into all of this in a minute. These are going to run $4,500. And these are designed for commercial and home use. All right. Now, there's a reason why they're $4,500. Okay. This is not meant to be a replacement for their current 4KP home pinball machines. They're primarily looking at these for businesses and retail spaces and whatever, arcades and whatever, for commercial use. These are going to come with 187 licensed pinball tables unlocked right out of the gate. Most likely we're talking all the Zaccaria tables, the Taito table, since they've got a Space Invaders theme. Maybe the Gottlieb ones. I don't know. Like I said, I'd have to count the tables to see exactly where 187 falls. Might be the Gottlieb tables. Not 100% sure. Probably not the Zen tables. Okay. Unlocked on this. Also comes with an arcade control panel and the SSF kit. All built into this. All right. Now, again, the primary purpose of this is meant to be for more for commercial use, I would say, than home use. I want to give a huge shout out here to my buddy Chaotic BPR for adding some additional information and context to this particular announcement. Because if you read this, you really don't get a lot out of this. There's really not a lot to understand here as to why it's so expensive, other than all this added stuff and what they're trying to accomplish. By the way, they are going to be at the IAPA Expo in November. They've got a booth set up specifically to show these off. So I don't know if anybody goes out to that show or not in Orlando, but if you do, this is something you could definitely look for. So again, shout out to my buddy Chaotic for some additional information. Because one of the things he told me was that these are being made differently. These are not like the normal MDF type cabinets that we're used to having in our home. These are made with wood. They have a They're going to have a water resistant coating on them. The control panel is also going to be water resistant, so spill a beer should be okay on this. They're going to have mechanisms for taking coins and dollars, again, for commercial use. They're thinking primarily that this is going to be for like tournaments and things in bars and different places. And 100%, Jason, thank you so much for throwing that in the chat there. Absolutely go and sub to my buddy Chaotic BPR. Good dude. I'm sure he's going to be talking about this maybe later on this week if he does his show. He usually does his show like when they come out with something, a new table or something that they can show off, which didn't happen this week. So not sure. Not sure if he's doing a show this week, but if he does, definitely check him out. But again, big thanks to him for some of this information. You will be able to add more tables to this beyond the 187 that's licensed because that's based on what's available right now. As new tables come out, they will be able to... are they made with bits of real Panther? You will be able to add newer tables as they come out. Now, does that mean perhaps that they're just not coming with the Zen tables unlocked, and maybe you can buy them and add them? I don't know. I don't know if Zen is even going to be a part of this partnership, considering that these are designed to be in commercial locations. So you kind of have to. We're going to have to kind of wait and see. Maybe to get even a little bit more information. Now, a lot of people have also focused on this. This Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Legends 4KP Premium Deluxe. This means that they're making one of these cabinets themed after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Making one of these 4,500 commercial grade cabinets. Okay? It does not necessarily mean that they're going to be making a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4KP regular, for lack of a better way to say it, for the home. There's no announcement on that right now. So anybody who's saying this means that you're getting a TMNT 4KP, you know, in the $2,000 range that the normal ones are now, doesn't necessarily mean that. Now, doesn't mean it's not coming. It just means we don't know right now. So don't jump to conclusions. Don't get your hopes up that a TMNT 4K is also coming. It might be a good bet if they're doing this, that they're going to also do it in like the home version. But as of right now, we don't know. And this does not say that. So, you know, if somebody's telling you this means that that's for sure coming, it doesn't necessarily. I'm trying to temper expectations is what I'm trying to do. I hope they do make one. I think it would be a good sell for them, along with the newer HD one, but we'll just have to wait and see. So this is going to kind of be a jukebox pinball machine for bars and businesses, essentially. That's kind of a good way to look at it, I suppose. No bar is going to pick this up over a real pinball table. Digital shuffleboard would be more valuable to a bar than digital pinball. Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. And when they can't log into that's a whole nother thing, for sure. Let me go back to this for a minute. Just kind of I don't see a real appeal for this unless it's one of those businesses that uses A1 up cabs for their business. We'll have to wait and see. We'll definitely have to wait and see on this. If it fails, the consumers will get a good discount on Pinball. Maybe. I guess that's always a possibility. I heard Bill say 4K version is good. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. All right. Before I wrap this up, I do want to bring this up as well. And this hat tip and shout out goes to my buddy and moderator, Jason Little Alien. because this is not the first time AtGames has tried this. AtGames announced its commercial edition Legends Pinball Cabinet at IAAPA Expo. Mouthful. This is from November of 2021. This was 4 years ago that they tried to do this. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. So back then they were calling it the Legends Pinball OE or Operators Edition. The commercial edition will have the same great features as the standard home use model: 32-inch glass-covered LCD, 15.6-inch back glass, stereo speakers, precision spring plunger, blah, blah, blah. Global leaderboards, events and tournaments, weekly happy hours, online multiplayer, party play, voice chat, downloadable digital content, and all the other connected options found on the Legends Arcade platform. This one, again, this was 4 years ago, was going to have 149 digital pinball tables preloaded on it, which at that point included Gottlieb, Zachariah, Taito, all of those. Now, again, remember, this predates the 4K and the Zen line. And I'm getting pop-ups. This predates the 4K. This predates the Zen line. But this is not the first time they've tried this. And obviously nothing ever came of this. So will it be different this time? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But again, just wanted to point that one out. What AtGames should do is finish working on the racers that they had in development. That'll put butts in the seats. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think that's ever coming out. Yeah, unfortunately, JJ, I know a lot of people feel that way, which is a shame for sure, because I do like their product. I love my HD pinball. I still trying to figure out at some point if I can get that TMNT one. I would love to upgrade. I don't necessarily feel I need the 4K, but the HDP one, I like the theme on it. I like the idea of the separate DMD and the SSF kit being able to go in it. I don't like the idea of having to buy all the tables again, especially now that I own every single one of them. Having to rebuy them would suck for sure. But it's just a shame. They tend to be their own worst enemy a lot of times, which really, really sucks. Mike Hawk-Kurtz, I do enjoy my 4KP. Perfect digital pinball table for home. When I want to play real pinball, I will go to a bar, not a bar that has digital pinball. So, yeah, definitely understand that for sure. Can you imagine ordering replacement parts for it? Not as bad as for a real pinball machine, I don't think. A lot less moving parts, that's for sure. Yeah, again, let's not talk about the bit blasters. That was another one that didn't go anywhere, unfortunately. But yeah, so there you go. Just wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit, shed a little bit more light on it because I don't think the announcement was necessarily that clear to people. I don't think people necessarily understood exactly what they were trying to do here. So I want to just shed a little bit more light on it. Again, is it a good idea? I don't know. I don't know if this is something that's going to work out. It could very well wind up being exactly the same as it was 4 years ago, and nothing comes of it. But we'll just have to wait and see. But, like anything with this, I always tend to wish them luck because, again, I do like the products. I do enjoy my HD. There are definitely things that annoy me and things that I wish they would do different. But I certainly don't necessarily wish them bad or want them to fail. Hey, Josh Dandy, good to see you. I think it's a smart move because they aren't stuck with one table. They can download new ones. Real talk, AtGames, if you're going to sell these to businesses, make sure your front-end control panel is seamless and easy to navigate. 100% on that for sure. I don't think AtGames knows what they mean with this announcement. Yeah, I don't think it was designed to provide a lot of detail and context, just to basically say, hey, look what we're doing. And that was pretty much it. So again, maybe after the expo at the end of this month, there'll be a little bit more info. Maybe we'll get to see some of it. Maybe we'll get to see some pictures and video and things like that. I will keep you guys posted if I get more information. Again, being in the influencer group can sometimes be good, sometimes not. Literally, they sent me a link to that announcement the same time it went on their social media page, so I didn't know about it any sooner than anybody else did on this one. And I had to rely on some other people who had a little bit more inside info than I did on it, for sure. But yeah, there you go. So that's it. That's everything I wanted to cover tonight. Again, I think that Lego set looks really cool. I'm hoping it makes it, because that is definitely one I would like to keep an eye on. I think that would be a fun Lego set to put together and then display in the game room for sure. Definitely looking forward to the second Super Mario Brothers movie. I thought that first one was a lot of fun. If you haven't checked out the trailer, go ahead and check it online. I'll put a link in the description after the show is done. If you're watching this on replay or after the fact, you want to leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think of the Steam announcement, the Steam controller, the Steam machine, the Steam frame. Are you interested? Are you not interested? What do you think? Let me know for sure. And of course, what do you think of this announcement from AtGames trying to move into commercial space with a $4,000 plus machine, all the tables unlocked, the SSF kit, all that kind of stuff for commercial use. Guys, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me, sharing your Wednesday evening with me. Guys, I always appreciate it, for sure. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. Ring that bell for notification. Leave me a thumbs up before you go. Leave me a like if you're watching this on replay. Leave those comments below. And yeah, go check out Arcades Anonymous, because they're probably live right about now. That's going to do it for this one. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care and happy gaming.